everyone, sit down, clear your plans for like the next 20 minutes because this is going to be the longest wrap-up / TBR ever. Like, mentally and physically prepare yourselves for it. It's a long one, guys. It's super long. Okay, so this is obviously my July wrap-up and my August TBR. This is going to be a long video. I will probably keep my wrap-ups very brief because it's a lot. And yeah. I read, are you ready for this? I wish I could drum roll, like, I read 14 books in July. 14 books. Let's all take a moment for that to absorb in, like, let it sit for a little bit and simmer, because I have never read that many books in a month in my life. Like, I'm not lying. This is a legit stat. I have never read 14 books. I've never read over 10 books in my life in a month, like never. So this is a groundbreaking month in the life of me. So yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna keep these wrap-ups very short. Remind you guys that reviews on all books I read on my blog / Tumblr. I think I'm caught up. I'm probably like 6 books behind. I will be catching up soon on that, but I will link it down below if you want to see a more in-depth review of what I thought about each individual book. Please be sure to visit that. Let's get started on the 14 books I read. Like, what? 14 books? What? The first book I read, I've already read and returned to the library, is Drink, Slay, Love by Sarah Beth Sturz. I didn't really enjoy this one that much. It's been on my wish list for quite some time on my Amazon, and I finally realized my library had it, so I decided to try it before I buy it. And I'm certainly glad I did because I didn't enjoy it at all. I felt like the plot was kind of random. I didn't feel anything for the characters. I was just like, ugh. So overall, I gave the one a 3 out of 5. Yeah, not that great. The book I read was Shades of Earth by Beth Revis, and I am happy to say I adored this. This is the final and last book in the Across the Universe trilogy, and what an amazing trilogy. Definitely one of my favorite trilogies by far. This whole book was perfect. Like, I adored it. So yeah, if you guys want a whole review on the whole series, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that because I adore this series. Of course, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. If I can give the cover a rating, I'll give it a 1 out of 5. But you know how I feel about that. You already know. The next book I read was Au revoir, Crazy European Chick by Joe Schreiber. This is just a quick fun read. I adored it. I thought it was great. I love the characters Perry and Joby and their adventure. And it reminded me like the Italian Job almost, but only like not the Italian Job. That makes sense. It's got really good action. I give it a 4 out of 5. I love the action. I kind of wish it was a standalone, to be honest, but there is a sequel to it. But yeah, I just want to see more standalones. I've been reading a ton of trilogies and stuff lately. Like, I just want a break. Next book I read was Awake by Amanda Hawking with this super shiny cover. I've actually filmed a review on this. You can click on the book right now and it should take you to it. Magical, I know. But I didn't really enjoy this one. This is a first of a series. I don't know how many books are in it, but yeah. A lot of people love this book, but I am sad to say I didn't. I said in my review that mermaids and sirens and like fairies are like my kryptonite, my book kryptonite. Like, I just can't like them. I don't know why. I want to like them, but I don't. You are my kryptonite. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Figure out why at the review. The next book I read was The Moon and More by Sarah Dessen. You guys know I love Sarah Dessen, one of my all-time favorite authors, contemporary authors nonetheless. This was her newest one. I think it just released a couple months ago, and it wasn't a disappointment. It was kind of different from the books I've read from her, but then again, I haven't read one of hers in a long time. It's been so long I can't remember a lot about them. But I adored this one. I really fell in love with the characters, and I really love attaching myself to the characters and see them grow and see them struggle. I liked it. It wasn't like one of my all-time favorite Sarah Dessen books, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I liked the ending and how usually with Sarah Dessen's books you have this somewhat of an ending, but I like the ending of this one that's kind of just the way it is. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I will always adore Sarah Dessen books no matter what. The next book I read that actually is being lent to a friend right now. A lot of people don't like lending their books to friends, but I have a couple of good friends that I lend books to. I know they keep them in good condition and they read them, and I gave her Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell because I said you have to read this, like this has to happen. This also has a review on it. You can click it right here. But I adored this book. Oh my gosh, Rainbow Rowell, you are amazing. You are quickly finding your way onto my favorite authors list. Like, I loved the love in this. I love the simplicity of it. I love the harsh reality of it. I really adore it. Please go watch the review if you want to see more in depth. Overall, I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I just adored it. Like, I love it. One of my all-time favorites. I read, I also do not have with me. I got it from the library, and it is Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple, I think. Yeah, I love this cover. One of my all-time favorite covers. I randomly picked this one from the library. It's been like on my list for a while and I just picked it up. And it's an adult novel about a woman named Bernadette, and it's told like an email letter format, and I love books that are told in email format for some reason. But I really love this one. I believe Rincey Reeds did a review on this as well, which also kind of sold me onto it, because she said if you're a fan of the Gilmore Girls, you'll probably like this. And I'm gonna stand with her on that and say if you love the Gilmore Girls, you need to pick up this book right now. It's full of witty, kind of sarcastic kind of stuff. If you like witty and stuff, you will love Where'd You Go, Bernadette. I loved it. 5 out of 5. Adored it. One of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorites. The book I read is Boundless by Cynthia Hand. I read this for the Booktubeathon. I think the rest of these are for the Booktubeathon. And this is the last and final book of the Unearthly trilogy. And I went into this book expecting to like it, not expecting to love it. I like this series. It's not one of my all-time favorite series, but I really enjoy it. And I freaking loved this book. Like, total unexpected love for it. Like, I fell in love with it. I think this might be my favorite of the series, weirdly enough, but I adored it. I thought it was hands down amazing. It's about angels and all that kind of stuff, so if you really want to read a really good angel series, definitely pick this one up. And Boundless, you were not a disappointment. You were awesome. Great job, Cynthia Hand. 5 out of 5. A lot of 5 out of 5s this wrap up, so good month. After I read Eleanor and Park, I was like, I need to read more of Rainbow Rowell, like right now. So I picked up Attachment, and this is another book told in email format. This is a book about a guy who pretty much, his job is to read emails that are flagged, and I guess the company, like, they're very strict on emails and stuff, so he reads the email that could not be proper and sends them a warning and stuff. But then he reads these two co-workers named Beth and Jennifer, and he falls in love with one of them, and it's just amazing. I love this book. Highly loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Definitely recommend if you love Rainbow Rowell. A definite. I read for the Booktubeathon was Paper Towns by John Green. This is my second John Green novel. My first was Looking for Alaska, and I liked it. I'm sad to say that I'm not in love with John Green as much as everyone else is, and I love his channel. I love his personality. I love his quirkiness. I love that. But I just find myself liking his book and not loving them. That could be, of course, that because I haven't read Fault in Our Stars yet. Don't say shame on you. You need to go read it. I have personal reasons. There should be a video about it. So yeah, I like this one. I liked it more than Looking for Alaska. I will say that. But yeah, I just liked it. It didn't wow me overall. 3 out of 5. I liked it. It wasn't just like amazing for me. Sorry to say, all you John Green lovers. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Vivian. I don't know her name. I just randomly picked up this one. I'm glad I did because I adored it. If you like a good book about revenge and kind of plotting against people that did you wrong, read this book. And it's got a twist at the end that I kind of saw coming, but I was like, I didn't know they were going to fully blown into it or something like that. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Adored it. The book I read was Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I listened to it via audio and I adored it. I love Sophie Kinsella, one of my all-time favorite authors, and this is my second book I've listened to. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I love it. Be warned though, if you watch the movie Confessions of a Shopaholic and the book, they are very different. So take them as two different things, okay people? I much prefer the book, but yeah. After that, I decided I fell in love with that. I would read Shopaholic Takes Manhattan, the second book in the Confessions of a Shopaholic series, and I love this one as well. I loved learning about Becky Bloomwood and her adventures with shopping. If you're looking for a fun summer light read, definitely can pick up the Confessions of a Shopaholic. I give this one a 4 out of 5 because I liked the first one a teensy bit better, but I overall love the series. And the last book I read, which was another random read, was The Distance Between Us by Casey West. And she also wrote Pivot Point, which I adored. This is a kind of a paranormal one, and this is a contemporary one. So I thought, since I love Pivot Point, I would try this one out. And I was highly disappointed. Like, this is one of my least favorite contemporaries I've read, if I'm going to be honest with myself, which kind of bums me out. It's about a girl named Cayman and a guy named Sander, and it's both. And Cayman works with her mom in a doll shop, which is kind of odd. But then she falls in like with this guy named Xander. It's about money and stuff. The one thing that really didn't wow me was the love. I wasn't convinced by the love factor. And not only that, I wasn't really emotionally involved with the characters. Like, I was just like, I didn't really care about them that much, which is sad because I loved her other book. But I'm sad to say I gave this one a 3 out of 5. I just expected a lot more from it, and I was disappointed with it. Overall, an amazing month for July. So let's take a moment to hope that August will be just as good. Hoping. So for August, I have chosen, I think, like 8 books. I don't know. Setting myself high. because I don't know. That's what I do, I guess. Now I'm currently in the middle of reading Shopaholic. It ties a knot. I have to finish this series. It has to happen. I should be finished within a couple days. So I plan to finish this one. So yeah. The next book I plan to read is Reboot by Amy Tintera. I started this in the Bookathon. I got like 10 pages in. I just didn't have time. This is pretty much about a girl named Ren, and apparently, like, when you die, the amount of time when you die until you come back, it determines the amount how lethal you are. You're a reboot, and she was dead for 178 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 178. Duh. And that makes her like the deadliest reboot in all of the land. And her job pretty much is to train other reboots. And so she loves doing that. And then she trains this other one that's kind of fumbly and awkward, but she, you know, starts to like him and stuff. So yeah, I've heard amazing things about this. So I'm excited to read it. I'm reading, which will be a sad one, Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. It's August, so I gotta get all my summer title books out. I don't know why I do that, but I gotta get them out of the way. She also wrote Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, which I freaking adore. Loved it. This is supposed to be about a girl named Taylor, and her and her family go to the summer house when they learn bad news about their father, and you can only imagine what kind of bad news there is, and it's just a very emotional and kind of heart-wrenching summer, and I'm excited to read this, but super nervous because I hate reading sad books, but I love Morgan Matson. I'll do it for you, Morgan Matson. I'll do it for you. And it's also a summer title. Gotta get it out of the way, you know. And that is Summer in the City by Candace Bushnell. This is a sequel to the Carrie Diaries, which I was okay with. I felt like it was kind of, and I'm not expecting to love this one. Honestly, I just want to read it and get out of the way. You never know those books of yourself. You're like, I just need to read you and knock it off my list. So that's what I plan to do. So hopefully this will be good. This is about her summer in New York. So I think she meets Samantha in this. So that's pretty exciting. Reading is the one I am, and this is the one I am most excited about. Like, I want to read it right now. And that is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I have heard literally tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of amazing things about this book. Like, it's wow, a lot of good things about this book, and I cannot wait. The synopsis is so hard to explain. It's about a girl named Ruby, and she wakes up on her 13th birthday, I think. Don't quote me on that. And she learns that she's different. She's got these powers, and her parents are freaked out, so they send her away to like this rehabilitation camp, and with all these other kids that are like her, and it's awful. And then I think one day, years later, she finally decides to break out and find this place that is like a safe haven. Maybe it's called safe haven, I don't know. With other kids like her. So yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so I can't wait to read it. The book I plan to read is probably going to be another sad book, but I really want to read it, and that is The Running Dream by Wendelin van Dranieren. And this has been on my list for a while. I just love kind of overcoming stories. This is about a girl that loves running, and then a tragic accident happens and she loses one of her legs. So it's about her coping with that and learning how to go on without that kind of stuff, and it's won a freaking award, so it's gotta be good. So I can't wait to read that one. Next two books I'm reading I don't have with me because they're at the library. I'm going to be finally, I'm sure you guys just give me a round of applause for this because you guys have been requesting this forever. I'm going to be reading the first two books in the Percy Jackson series, or the Last Olympian series by Rick Riordan, and I'll be reading Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters in upcoming for the movie Sea of Monsters. So I'm excited to read those. I should be getting them soon from the library, but yeah, those are the books I plan to read. You guys know the rules. Vote for the two books that you want to see reviews on. Do not vote for Percy Jackson. That's automatically going to get a review because of the movie and stuff. So yeah, vote for the two books you want to see reviews on, and you shall get them. Be sure to check out my blog for, you know, other reviews, or Tumblr for other reviews on them, and yeah. Hopefully you guys had an amazing month of reading in July. Please tell me about it, and please tell me what you guys are planning to read for August. Are reading some of the same books? Let me know. I will talk to you guys later. I'm tired of talking. My mouth hurts, but I love you guys. Bye. To call you mine, 'cause I got you and you got me. Let's stick together like a family should, 'cause that's what we are. Love takes time, let's watch it grow. Do it better than we did before. Let me stay in your